Welcome to the garden. Today I'm going to be renovating our raised bed of strawberries to hopefully get more fruit. I want to start by doing some weeding, then I'm going to amend the soil with compost, plant some new strawberries, and finally mulch with straw. Most of the weeds we're just going to pull and toss, like this wood sorrel, but there are some that I'm going to save, like white clover, chives, and violets. White clover can make a really nice ground cover, but here in the strawberry patch, it's really starting to spread. So I'm going to move it to a different area of the garden. I'm going to try to avoid our strawberries, but if we do accidentally uproot them, it's not that big of a deal. We can just replant them. I wanted to pull this wood sorrel before it sets down seeds. You can see the seed pods here, which are just about to open up. Now that we pulled all the weeds, I'm going to add a little bit of soil in the low spots and then compost the entire bed. I'm using a little bit of our native soil just from out back. And I'm also going to be using some bagged topsoil. I wouldn't recommend you buy this product, but it's something we just have lying around. This is actually pretty sandy. Doesn't look like it has much nutrients to it. We have quite a few strawberry plants just growing in random locations around the garden. So I'm gonna uproot them and we'll transplant these into our raised bed. Here's one growing along our border next to our wild strawberries. But you can see how much taller they are. So I'm going to move this out to our raised bed as well. We want to try to get as many roots as we can. There's a massive one down here as well. It's like a foot tall with giant leaves. It's gonna make an excellent transplant. Wow, look at the size of that. Ooh, it's got runners too. Looks like the runners have even set down root. I'm gonna have to get the shovel out for these too. Yeah, look at this. That's how the runners spread. Looking really nice. And the last few are going to come from this border. I think these are going to do just a little bit better in the raised bed. They're going to be a lot easier to harvest. You can see how much competition they have in here between the white clover and the violets. So I'm happy to move these to a better location. There's a little duo. Actually kind of feels like they're connected. Just look at all of these strawberries. Wow, there must be at least 100. That's amazing. It's going to do a lot to fill in this raised bed. Before we plant out our strawberries, I'm going to add a thin layer of compost over the entire bed. This is going to add some nutrients, some beneficial bacteria, as well as worms and little bugs to hopefully help improve our native soil. Here you can see the crown of the plant, which we do not want to bury. So we'll plant it right about to here, where those roots start to form. And with the runners, I basically just press them into the soil. Sometimes it can help to weigh them down with a rock or just lightly cover them. I'm spacing them out a couple inches apart just to give them a little bit more sun. So now we've got this raised bed weeded, fertilized, transplanted with beautiful strawberries. Now I'm going to do something I've never done before and mulch with straw. It's actually how strawberries got their name. This is going to mulch over the soil so they don't get splashback. It's going to insulate over winter and in early spring when the weather's really nice and cool. And it's also going to elevate the fruit and keep them from getting covered in sand and dirt. And it'll prevent them from getting eaten by pests. And because it's really sunny today, this is going to provide some shade so that our plants don't wilt. And I'm just going to mulch pretty generously over the top. I'm going to completely bury them for today, and we can come in later and uncover them. I'm aiming for a layer of about 2 inches thick. Wow, that looks awesome. Wow, this looks amazing. And over time, the leaves are going to push through the straw. And in spring, the strawberries will sit on top of the straw so they don't get covered in sand and bugs. It's just going to be incredible. So I hope you stay tuned for updates on this raised bed renovation. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.